welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show. Yep, and it's just the two of us. No, thankfully, it's not just the two of us. We are bringing in an amazing panel to discuss, and you can hear how nervous I am, online bullying in South Africa. It's global, but here in our country, it's a widespread problem that affects people of all ages, from teenagers to adults, so with especially damaging consequences for women. And I think the scary part is how quickly that damage can be done. In fact, according to UNICEF South Africa, and this was recorded in 2023, about 1 in 5 teenagers experience cyberbullying, and SADAG's 2024 findings indicate that nearly 46% of South African adults have encountered online harassment. Wow.
This is crazy, and this is why we brought in such an incredible panel. So starting with our 1,000 Women's Advocacy, which highlights that is a significant number. Firstly, it's highlighting women who suffer from persistent digital abuse and things that undermine their self-esteem. So here's a perspective from our very own Carissa on bullying. Let's check it out.
Oh, so y'all, now that I've got you here, why must it always be a woman? Like, why must it always be one of the girlies coming after the girlies? Oh, she's too big. She's taking up too much space. Oh, her nose ring. Oh, her skin. Oh, her outfit. Oh, the way she talks. Oh, she's too much. She's too loud. Like, I get it. Projection and security. Like, I understand the narrative, the psychology. But why must it always be the girlies? It's just reeking mean girl energy. Like, you'll need to do some introspection. You'll need to be like Milan and look at your reflection in the water, you know? Because it's not cute no more. And now you are 60-plus-year-old woman coming with this cattishness, cattiness. You know what I mean? Nah. Also, the gag is, I love my soup.
I suppose shame on you, we can say, to whoever that was. I'm now desperately wanting to get to Carissa's timeline and have a look. But to answer these questions today, we are joined by Natalie Chisikana, a 1,000-woman GBV warrior and anti-bullying advocate, and Daniela Mayer, a family therapist, to explore what drives this targeted hostility and how we can better support those affected. For me, it's definitely my kids. So what, basically all men are sleazy and women are mean. That's how we would judge our species if we had to go online, pretty much.
I mean, humans are horrible. Think about it. What separates us from the animals is our ability to make conscious decisions. And the fact that we use that ability, that choice to bash other people down just so that we can feel better about ourselves is actually really quite pathetic.
Yeah.
It is, and I mean, Natalie, I'm listening to and looking at these stats. We're speaking about 1 in 5 teenagers facing cyberbullying. Almost 50% of adults in our country have experienced this in some way or form. What's the underlying factors? What is the reason why we are still living in this world where we feel there's some necessity to bring somebody else down, which has no impact on us whatsoever?
What do we get from it? Yeah.
Why?
I mean, there are many factors that are contributing to this cyberbullying, whether bullying is happening in person or whether online. Some of the things that factors these things are stereotypes, stereotypes, wanting to fit in, jealousy, hate, lack of self-love. Like when you come online and you are happy, you are dancing, yet I am here, I'm traumatized, I'm stressed, I'm frustrated. Yeah. So when I see you happy, I come online, I take that frustration on you instead of getting the help that I actually need. So those are some of the factors that actually fuel this cyberbullying.
I think it's an easy out. Yes. I think it's an easy way just to get your rocks off. It's like hooting at someone in traffic.
I mean,
it's fine.
I mean, you're all behind the screen. Like, most of your haters would never say what they say in front of you. So
you'd be surprised, girl. I might have that kind of face. I don't know. No, but there is something in that. The anonymity is a shield. I feel like I want to push back immediately. So I want to start thinking about what we do within ourselves and in particular to help others. So maybe, Daniel, you can start with that. When we foster that self-care, that self-love, whatever that needs to be called, confidence, resilience, whatever that thing is, what difference does it make in these situations?
Well, I mean, self-love and self-confidence and self-esteem and self, everything positive is what we're all after and what we're chasing. It's not something that is natural within all of us, because especially now with this online era, everything is just automatically competition. So you look at a friend who was at school with you and they've posted a picture driving their new Porsche out the dealership. You automatically think, how did they do that? Why haven't I done
Judgment.
that? Judgment. We judge ourselves so harshly. What we're supposed to do is understand that everybody has their own journey. And wherever you are, you're still going to get there. You know, we all take our own time and we all are on our own paths. For all we know, because of the online era and how we just get little snippets of everybody's life, is we don't know if maybe this was somebody who a loved one had passed away and left their money, let's say. We wouldn't want that life.
Yeah, they've lost a child and you don't know.
We
just don't know
anything. So the point is really, and I think that it starts young. I'd even say it starts from birth. I mean, the way I raised my children was confidence. You are the best. You can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything you can set your mind to. You know, the sky's the limit. We need to start teaching our children the internal resilience and to not be so affected by what other people think of you.
And I would imagine that starts with how we work with the social media space, how we
100%.
work with our devices, how we exemplify that absolute notion.
Yeah, and it's not just youngsters that are working with these devices, but adults too. I mean, yes, we're focusing on the teenagers, but also when we look at the landscape in general, these are adults that are now learning about these online systems and experiencing this form of bullying for the first time, right? What do we do in this situation? Because maybe, and this might be contentious, but maybe kids are now used to this and they expect it. All the adults jumping on the space right now, they're like, what's going on?
We're too soft, man.
I thought I
We're too
believed in
soft.
myself, but this external negative validation is crazy. What does one do in this situation? Are there systems or support systems out there that can validate what's actually right and allow me to not take this into account?
Yes, definitely working on yourself, prioritize that. Like, for example, the 1,000 Women, they offer anti-bullying courses that are free. They enter trauma courses that are free. So if you do feel like you do lack self-love, self-confidence, try to get the help that you need. The problem in our society is that we feel ashamed. Oh, don't talk to a therapist. You're gossiping. You're doing that. So we need to have an environment where people actually feel free to get the help that they need without us judging them. And like you said, awareness. We need to educate our kids like I do. I go to schools without a sponsor, out of my pocket. I go to schools and I speak to learners about bullying, whether it's online, in person, at schools, in the park, just doing your bit. Like, let's not wait for someone to come and educate your child. You too, you
Take
can
that
do
on
that.
yourself,
Take control.
yeah.
Take control of your child, of your house. It starts with you. Don't wait for someone else to do that.
I love it, because you can't
Yes.
control the internet. You can't
No,
control any of the
no.
things that are external, but
Can't.
your relationship with your
Yes.
child, that is in your hands.
Yes.
I would recommend as a first step, because I had a massive stigma and a wall built up towards therapy or anything. I thought I was too crazy for anyone to be able to understand what goes on in my head. But just making a call to SADAG, to the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, getting someone neutral to listen to me, let me just pour it out. They had no judgment. They weren't invested in my world at all. They had no idea who I was one of the biggest shifts I have ever had and probably saved me mentally. So if nothing else, reach out for SADAG and definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned, because this conversation will continue from highlighting what's important to actioning some strategies that can empower our victims and encourage bystanders to take a stand against online bullying. That's coming next in just a bit, but hopefully for now, we can entertain you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And Tuesday is bringing through the health vibes, especially when we have this conversation. If you weren't around earlier, we were talking about online bullying, and we're going to turn our awareness into action right now, because the emotional toll of online bullying is profound. Now here's something interesting. SADAG's 2024 research links digital harassment to severe mental health outcomes, and organizations such as 1,000 Women underscoring the urgent need for intervention among women. And our discussion discussion is going to turn now to how we can empower victims, creating robust reporting systems and hopefully foster a culture of respect online. And that's exactly what we're going to start off with right now.
I love it, and thank you so much to you guys at home. We've got Daniela and Natalie joining us now, who they've racked up hundreds, thousands of hours in this space, so they really can give us insight, and I'd like their take on this. We got from Anonymous a beautiful account. I'm going to give it to you now. I am a 50 plus male, and I find that my bullying and abuse as a child has been transferred to my adulthood. People either comment about my looks as a large man or bully me on social media instead of to my face. One would have thought that the older we get, that the bullying would disappear. This is such a lie, as it continues no matter what. This has caused major damage in my life. As an adult, I do not trust people easily as a result of this, and have now resorted to a lonely life, except for Expresso, of course. Yes, I'm about to bawl my eyes out. I've been running an anxiety and depression group on WhatsApp since 2019. Well done. Just to be there for those who need to chat. So many people join with huge lessons, and that's from Anonymous, calling himself Lee. So I'm going to just say I love you, Lee, and thank you so much for opening up. I don't know, Danielle, do you want to weigh in first?
I just want to firstly thank you, because what you've just said now, whoever you are, is you have taken a terrible experience and you've decided to actually do something about it. And how many of us do that? So to the people that you have helped with this online support group, thank you, because that is more than most people would do. What I would like to say is that it's very easy for me to say that we are the ones that allow people to treat us that way. But if we delve into it a little bit, when you're a child in your formative years and you're impressionable and you're trying to find your place in the world, and you get whacked with bullying.
That matrix is formed around you.
It's formed around you. This is how you're growing up, in this cesspool of negative reinforcement, of negative comments, of you're not good enough, of constantly being bashed down. How do you actually recover from that? I mean, this is the message that you're being given your whole life, is you're not good enough. Now you turn 30, 40, 50, and it must go away. It doesn't work like that. It takes so much effort, so much work, and so much support to actually make that change for yourself, to reprogram your mind, in the way that you view yourself, and build that internal resilience so that when you have recovered from that, if you ever really do, then when somebody starts with you, to have the power to say, I know who I am. I am good enough. I'm good enough for myself, certainly, and it starts there. I'm good enough for the people who love me. If I'm not good enough for you, who the heck are you?
Yeah.
Why
Write them
does
out of
that
your reality.
matter?
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to do that, though.
I know we are grossly oversimplifying very complex situations, and I always feel awful putting you guys in that position, because every person is exactly different like that. Why? Why? I know we're asking a lot of these why questions, but why do we bully? What is it? And especially then the exponential increase of that online, where we've got that added anonymity. Why? What enjoyment do we get out of it? What fulfillment do we get out of cutting other people down?
Yes, definitely. There are a lot of answers to explain that, but what I've encountered, especially with kids, is that they've been abused. So there's a lot of trauma, and they don't deal with that trauma. So something might happen in their homes, and then they just wake up, they are forced to go to school. No one is dealing with that trauma. So when they grow up, they still have that trauma. And then when someone is happy, when they are living this fairy tale that they would want, they are easily triggered. So that's why now I'm going to troll your happiness so that you can be in this negativity that I am in. So
just to make everything
okay.
okay.
Yes, it's basically trauma, abuse. So that's why we always encourage students, if there is abuse at home, to ask for help. Speak to the teacher, tell someone to ask for help. Again, we cannot help if we don't know what's going on.
And this makes the circle of friends also important, because very often I had a single parent home where I relied on my mates being my kind of litmus test to be like, dude, is everything okay? Something's not right. Like if you're a friend or a family member and you see something isn't right, act on that.
Absolutely. I think we need to 100% normalize speaking up.
Yeah.
We have to normalize the fact that this is not okay. And I always tell my son, I don't care if you think you're a tattletale. If something doesn't feel right to you, go and tell someone. You know, you can't just let things like this happen. But I think what is so important also is to understand that anonymity is so powerful, because what people hate more than anything on the planet is accountability.
Yeah.
People don't want to be accountable, and they feel that if I can sit here with you and I'm like, oh, you're so pretty, you're so clever, you're so whatever, and then I see you online, I can say, you know what, you have no idea what you're talking about, and I can block you. I'm not accountable for that, you know? And misery loves company.
Oh, yeah.
No, but the ego is the most destructive thing if mishandled,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So why the heck should I sit here miserable and uncomfortable and whatever and watch somebody that I don't know, never met, live the life I want to?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to make sure that she suffers because it's not fair.
You know what it is? Ego's like a McLaren F1. You know, if you drive it properly, best day of your life. You drive it badly, as we've all seen in South Africa. Things can go horribly, horribly wrong. One resource that people can connect with, I don't need a long answer, just one place where people can go if they need help right now.
Definitely 1,000 Women. There's a lot of help there. There's trauma counseling. There's anti-bullying women courses for people. So definitely 1,000 Women. Go there, go online, get the help that you need. and
Proven
you'll get
success.
Proven evidence is there.
Because you've got the
That's
warriors
obviously
around you.
1000women.co.za for you, Mzansi. If
Yes.
you are facing any of these issues right now, you can definitely get them online, and of course SADC as well. We put these details up for you right now. So if you are seeking any information, any advice or any help, then we don't just have this panel here to assist you right now, but this goes further and deeper. And this is something that we need to constantly dealing with this. Daniela, I feel like you always have sage words of wisdom to
Yeah.
leave us with. What's your mic drop
There is
moment here?
one mic drop that I want to say
Yeah.
is that we often say that bullying and all of this, when related to children, is the fault of the parents. I'd like to give a message to all the parents of South Africa and say, you know what, it's actually in this instance, not entirely your fault. We lead by example. We learn from example. We parent our children. The way we parent our children is completely based on how we were parented, how we don't want to parent, our experience. We are now in an era where online cyberbullying is something we don't have the experience in.
Yeah, it's
it
new
didn't
territory.
affect us. It's new territory. Parents, please, it is your responsibility to understand the lingo,
Educate
to understand
yourself.
what your children are talking about online, because I don't know if anybody's seen that Netflix release of Adolescence.
Yeah.
They don't know. Everything was misinterpreted. My son could go and put a heart emoji, a purple heart. I might say, oh, what a sweet boy. That might be the absolute
Yeah.
worst thing ever.
Educate
yourself so that you can keep an eye, and I don't care what your children say to you, I don't care how much they hate you. Make sure you know exactly what they're doing online.
Yes, just to add to what Daniela said, I feel like you have the power when you log into Facebook, when you log into Instagram, you have the power. Block the person. You don't have to read what they're
Block
saying.
'em, yo.
Block. Report the account. Even if they'll open a new account numerous times, you do your part. Block, report. Go through their profile before accepting. Like, that's your power, right?
Do
you
it,
can
yeah.
see who is requesting to be your friend. Go through that. Go through them. See what, that's a good person, a bad person, and so on. So
Are they even a person?
thank you. You know, so
Natalie.
you have the power. You have some sort of power. You have some sort
Just
of
take
control
back that
of what
control.
you absorb. So it's all about what you choose to absorb. We're on Instagram because there's someone who gives the best motivation. That's why I'm there every day. So why do you care about what this one
That
person
other
is
person
saying?
says.
You
I'm going to send
understand?
people straight to your Instagram account
Yes.
right now. So we're not blaming us as the parents. Can we blame our parents? I think we can.
We can.
3 generations of
It
baggage.
goes all the way back.
I think
Everything. It's
the bottom line here,
generational.
stop judging yourself, stop judging your relationship with your child, stop judging the situation, stop judging and act. Stop thinking about it and do something, and trust your gut, whether it's your friend, whether it's your partner, whether it's your child. There is a reason why we have this intuition. And please, let's continue this conversation online in a healthy and positive way.
It's never too late.
Exactly.